Talking about the focus on renewable energy and EVs as well, because that becomes a whole lot more relevant in the context of what we're talking about, because there China is literally competing with other global players. Tesla, of course, making its mark in China itself. You know, I was reading some reports about how China is to eliminate EV subsidies in 2022. So how is this balance going to work, where policy support is extended out and then they let the industry take off on its own? To kind of find its own economic model.
Absolutely. I mean, that's going to be a difficult balance. I mean, I think as someone who works on environmental regulation, I'm generally supportive of subsidies for green technologies, be it renewable energy or EVs. But, you know, when you subsidize a lot, it can lead to willy-nilly growth, low-quality growth, companies that sort of take the subsidies and don't necessarily produce the best product. And I think part of the idea is to help the market sort of stand on its own and, you know, use the subsidies to get things going. But now there's a lot of players in the market, and the sort of best players should rise to the top without these subsidies. But of course, even apart from the subsidies, there are lots of other policies that can be used to incentivize uptake of green transportation and to encourage manufacturers to produce, right? So I think subsidies aren't the only thing. Yeah.
Sorry, very quickly, Alex, the irony here being the subsidies that are given to the fossil fuel industry in the Western economies are ongoing. So in the context of that, it makes an interesting counterpoint.
Of course.
It does.
Of course.
It does. And also, the fact is that transition is going to take time. So, you know, how do you time when to withdraw that support so that the industry can stand on its feet, as you pointed out? And how do you time that? You know, there's got to be that transition phase that plays out fully for the industry to be commercially viable.
I think the direction should be to be leaning towards support for these types of things, right? So to the extent that people are considering pulling back on the subsidy, I would be very cautious about that. You don't want to slow down the growth of these things. There's a battle right now in California about solar subsidies, and it's a hot and intense battle. I wouldn't support maintaining the subsidies for longer, because what you need right now is rapid deployment of all of these technologies in order to achieve these targets. And if China wants to achieve their 2030 and 2060 targets, they need rapid deployment.